my travels. We're back to our regular YouTube lives every week. So I'm going to give you a little recap of my trip and give you a chance to jump in here and say hi. Let me know what you've been up to the last 2 weeks. What are you up to for your holiday season? If you have any big plans, drop them in the comments. So I went on a trip to the Netherlands. For those of you who don't know, I am Dutch. My last name is very, very Dutch. If you've seen it, it's Van Schravendijk. It's very long. So I am from the Netherlands and have family there. So I went back for my grandmother's 101st birthday. Yes, she is 101 years old. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that because I think there's some inspiration and life lessons to be taken from her. She's an awesome lady. So yeah, we went on a trip for her birthday. It was about 2.5 weeks. So we were there for 2.5 weeks and now we're back. A few things that we did while we were there, a few different cities that we visited I'm going to tell you about. Be sure to tell me that you're watching in the comments. Say hi. Before I tell you about my trip, I want to tell you about an exciting event we have starting in 1 week. So I'm going to be doing a holiday giveaway on social media. It's a 12-day holiday giveaway that starts on December 16th, so 1 week from today. Each day of that 12 days, I'm going to be giving away a prize. So we have 11 different sponsors, including Kettlebell Solo, that are going to be sponsoring this giveaway and giving away an awesome prize. They're valued between $50 and $200. So each day of that giveaway, you're going to be able to enter to win. Kettlebell Solo members are going to get extra entries. For every 1 entry, they will get 5. So you'll have a larger chance to win if you are a Kettlebell Solo member. We have a bunch of awesome sponsors that I'll be announcing in a couple days. So stay tuned for that. Be sure that you're following me here on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. You can do either one of those. You can enter on any one of those platforms. Hey, South to West. Yep, I'm back. Thanks for joining. So yeah, be sure to check out either the community section of my YouTube page. You can check out Instagram or look at the Kettlebell Solo or KB Fit BRITT Facebook pages. You'll see all the info for the holiday giveaway coming up over the next few days, and then it'll be starting next week on Monday. So be sure to enter for a chance to win some awesome prizes this holiday season. So moving back on to the recap. Hey Jess, thank you, appreciate that. Thanks for joining. Let me know if you guys have any fun holiday travels coming up or any fun holiday plans. I'd love to hear about them. Okay, so we're going to go back to kind of the recap of the trip. So my grandmother, who turned 101, we'll talk about in a minute, she lives in Den Haag, also known as The Hague. So we spent some time in The Hague. We stayed in this awesome place that was on the other side of the forest from my grandmother's house. So we were able to just walk through the forest every day to see my grandma, which was really nice. That's one of the awesome things about the Netherlands is they just have these beautiful forested areas close by. Like most cities or towns will have like, you know, at least 1 or 2 forested areas that you can walk through with little walking trails, bike trails, which is really nice and needed in a country that's as small as it is and as densely packed as it is. You need to have these designated nature areas to make sure that you're still able to get out in nature and be in the trees. So we explored Den Haag. So if you don't know, Den Haag is where a lot of the it's kind of like the political center, like the government runs from The Hague. There's also like the King's House is in The Hague. So we saw a bunch of that stuff. It's a nice town. It's not quite as busy as Amsterdam, but there's a lot to see in The Hague. There's a lot of nice stores and shopping areas and just fun to walk around. We also took a trip to Gouda. So if any of you have ever heard of like Gouda cheese, some people might call it Gouda, but it's actually Gouda. So the cheese, that's the town where that cheese originally comes from and gets the name. So it's a really cute little town, nice little tourist area, really cute, picturesque with all similar kind of buildings to Amsterdam. So it's an awesome town to visit. We also went to Rotterdam one day. We specifically went there to go to the Rotterdam Pinball Museum. If there's any pinball players, let me know in the comments. That was an awesome trip to go see this multi-story building with just hundreds of pinball machines So that was a lot of fun. That was just the main thing that we did there. Rotterdam, of course, is an interesting city because a lot of it was bombed during World War II, and so it doesn't look quite as pretty and picturesque as Amsterdam, because a lot of the buildings are more modern and have been replaced. The bombed out area has been replaced by more modern architecture. So it doesn't quite look the same, but there's still some old areas of the city that do have some of those beautiful older buildings. Luckily, there's still some of that left there. Of course, we went to Amsterdam. I have some family there, so we stayed there for a few days, which was really cool to get to have a little more time. Last year, when we took a trip to the Netherlands, we only had one day to explore Amsterdam. So this year we had more time to explore different things, just walk around. One cool thing we discovered relevant to our health and fitness is there was like this cool street workout park in one of the parks. So there was all kinds of like bars and areas for you to work out, and there was some people getting their like calisthenics workouts in. So, we went in and got some pull-ups in there. Okay, I want to talk about my grandma, because I think this is something that is inspiring for anybody who might be listening. My grandma turned 101 this year, and she still lives independently. So she lives by herself in a facility that does offer assisted living, but she lives independently. She has somebody who comes and checks on her daily, but she is still able to live on her own and follow her routines on her own. She takes a walk every day or every other day in the forest. She's still able to walk really well. She's able to step over things and doesn't have any issues there. And she does physical therapy, and she is overall very healthy. She has no health issues, and it's just an inspiration to see the ability to live to that age and still be healthy and independent, because that's almost unheard of for many people, even in their maybe 70s or 80s. So it's quite inspiring to see that. She's very, very moderate in terms of, she eats what she wants to eat, but it's fairly healthy, but she still enjoys treats. She exercises, but she doesn't exercise in an extreme way, which I think is a good lesson for all of us, is like finding moderation. And that's perhaps a key to being healthy. I think I've asked her before, like, what's the secret to being 101? And she just said it was luck. So I think, of course, genetics play a role. And I do think, she lives in a healthy environment, eats pretty clean foods. Of course, that's the blessing of living in a European country, is they don't allow some of the toxic things in food that we have here. So that probably helps her as well. And of course, getting regular exercise. People walk and bike there, so it's a much more active, healthy lifestyle. Hi, Yassine. Thanks for joining. So yeah, really, really inspiring to just see her still flourishing and doing well at 101, and she really enjoyed having family there. So that was definitely a highlight of the trip, was getting to celebrate her 101st birthday, and hopefully many more. I don't see why she couldn't live for quite a long time if she continues on the way she is and her health continues to stay stable. So now we're going to talk a little bit about some health and fitness related things. Maybe you're curious, did I work out when I was on my trip? Did I do kettlebells? Did I go to the gym? What did I do? I'm going to tell you about my approach to my fitness, and a little bit my approach to my nutrition during the trip. I think this may be relevant if you are going to travel for the holidays, or just in general for your next trip. So my approach was, I wasn't really going to focus on working out at all, knowing that being in the Netherlands, we usually walk a lot. So it's going to be, that's my main form of exercise. We just walked most days. I would say it's between 4 and 12 miles every day. So quite a lot of walking. Overall, I felt very good while walking, which was awesome. Sometimes my back gets sore, but I didn't have any issues. So that was awesome. I attribute a lot of that to kettlebell solo and the consistent training that I do. Of course, I do walk regularly as well. I did do one handstand push-up session. So I made sure to get my handstand push-up session in early, the week that I left, and then that gave me like a week and a half to kind of recover from jet lag while I was there before I did my next session. So I actually did my one session of handstand push-ups while I was there. My grandma was watching me. I think she was impressed. I think maybe she never saw anything quite like that in 101 years. So she was, I think, entertained to, she didn't know that I was going to be getting upside down, and was just like, kind of like, whoa, what's happening in my living room? So I did that one session, and we'll probably be, well, I skipped last week after coming at the end, towards the end of my trip, and won't be doing a session until probably the end of this week, because of course, travel is always stressful, so it's important, especially if you're having a long trip. For example, the Netherlands, it's like a 9-hour, sometimes 10-hour flight on the way back. Jet lag, easy time to get sick. So definitely my approach was like around the travel days, being cautious not to overextend myself. So on the last day before we left, we didn't do a whole lot. We didn't walk much, and just gave ourselves that buffer to be able to handle the flight and potential germs that come up on the plane. So I think it's important to remember that traveling can be quite stressful on the body, and to take some precautions around long durations of travel where you might be around a lot of other people and exposed to germs, just to give yourself the best chance of not getting sick. Southwest said, interesting, I usually try to work out when traveling. If I miss a day, it's no big deal. Yeah, I think that's a good approach if that works for you. I have definitely had trips where I was working out regularly, and I enjoyed that. On this trip, I just was like, I don't want to stress out about where I'm going to do my workouts, or, you know, it's like, it's a few weeks off. I find it's also a nice reset for the body to just walk and not do anything else. So that was a nice break. Thanks, Jazz. Yeah, I'm sure she was very proud of your handstands. And yeah, what a lady, 101. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, definitely amazed with her every year. In some ways, she was sharper than last year, and she was cracking really funny jokes. So that was really fun to see that she was still making some good jokes and having fun. That's the goal at 101, I think. So yeah, overall, my approach is really just walk daily. And if I got a handstand push-up session in, great. And if not, then no big deal. So I got in the one session. Then, of course, as I mentioned, we did a few dips and pull-ups at the workout park in Amsterdam. It wasn't really a full workout. It was just having a little fun with it. So now, my approach to nutrition during this trip. So I had been eating gluten-free for about 6 months. I had some testing done that showed that I was quite inflamed and experiencing, some leaky gut syndrome from eating a lot of gluten, which I did not feel per se. Like, I didn't notice after eating gluten that it upset my stomach or anything, but I was experiencing gut issues over time. So I had eliminated gluten for about 6 months, and this trip was kind of like my re-entry into having gluten, because there are less toxins. They don't use glyphosate on their wheat in Europe. I figured, well, if I'm going to eat some gluten, this is the time to eat it, because there's so much delicious baked goods and bread and all that. I did notice that I didn't feel great because of it. Like, it didn't feel like it was the best for me to be eating, but I figured, well, it's just a couple weeks, and when I get back home, I'm going to like cut the gluten out again. So I pretty much just ate whatever, drank coffee, because the coffee is just way more delicious there. I don't normally drink coffee at home. I don't do very well on coffee. It's more stressful for my body. So while I was there, just enjoyed the local foods, enjoyed treats, enjoyed not tracking. So I had been tracking my nutrition for the last 2.5 years or so. And this was the first time I just took a big break from it, which was actually really nice, mainly from like not being on my phone entering it after every meal. So it's been nice since the trip, just taking a break from tracking for a little while and eating a little bit more intuitively. So that's something I think I'm going to embrace for the next few months and see how that goes. And then maybe track again for a while. We'll see. But yeah, on the trip, just no tracking, didn't really worry about it. Just did my best to make sure I had sources of protein, and just knowing that I wasn't going to be able to perhaps get as much protein as I normally do, but just making sure to do the best I could to get some. And overall, just, yeah, I don't know if that's an approach really. It was more like just enjoy the foods and pay a little bit of attention to protein. And I think that's something important to remember, is that if you're going on a trip for a week, a few weeks, a weekend, it's not going to make or break your consistency with your diet. If you eat a little bit outside of what you eat normally or what makes you feel the best, it's okay. You can come back around to, your consistency at the other end of the trip. And how exactly you approach that is really, person to person. I actually think I probably ate less than I normally do on the trip, because it's a little bit harder to be as consistent, but it varies for everyone, of course. Some food highlights. I don't know if you guys know about the Netherlands. They don't really have a specific cuisine, just like a lot of potatoes. There's a few dishes, like one called stamppot. They really love witlof, which is like endives. But it's not really like a full-on cuisine. But some of the highlights that I really enjoy there, the coffee, because it just way more delicious, less acidic, way less strong. So it doesn't really give you like the caffeine buzz, and it just tastes better. Hot chocolate, you guys probably, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw my hot chocolates. They always top with whipped cream, and the whipped cream, let me tell you, the whipped cream tastes so much better there. I don't know what they're feeding the cows, but the whipped cream tastes way more delicious than it tastes here. We found a great store that carried like grass-fed meat, including like these really awesome jerky sticks. Just tasted way better than the jerky sticks you get at the grocery store here. So that was a great find. We were able to get some grass-fed steaks, so we're excited about that, because the regular grocery stores, kind of similar to in the U.S., the meat quality isn't great. So it was nice to find a store with higher meat quality to make sure we're getting some high quality protein in. Of course, baked sweet treats. There's so much delicious baked goods there. If you go to a coffee shop, a lot of the pastries are just amazing. So it was nice to be able to enjoy a little bit of pastry, a little bit of gluten in pastry, since I hadn't had any for about 6 months. I figured if I was going to eat some, that's the place to do it. Has anybody ever had a stroopwafel? I don't think I had the cookie portion of the stroopwafel. No, I did have stroopwafel. Yeah, I had a little bit, but this is like the most famous Dutch cookie, if you've heard of them. You can get them everywhere in the U.S. at this point, but they taste much better if you get a fresh one at a farmer's market in the Netherlands. So if you have never tried that, highly recommend. Any questions? Do you guys have any questions about my trip? I'm excited to be going live again this week and getting consistent again on Wednesday. I have to look at my calendar so I don't forget my topics. Oh yeah, on Wednesday we're going to be doing a travel workout. So again, to kind of fall in line with this travel theme, any of you are traveling over the holidays, we're going to be doing a body weight workout that you can do while traveling. So that's going to be Wednesday at 9 a.m. And then, Thursday, this is going to be a fun topic. We're going to talk about staying on track with your health and fitness during the holidays. So you're going to want to tune in for that. Just some practical tips as far as maintaining your consistency, or how to mentally approach the holiday season if you're concerned about, your workout routine or your nutrition leading into the holidays. I know it can be a difficult time. There's a lot of parties. It can be stressful with family events. We'll talk about some approaches to staying sane and staying healthy over the holidays, and how you can approach your routine during that time. So that's going to be Wednesday at 9 a.m. for the bodyweight travel workout. Thursday at 4:30 p.m. we'll talk about staying on track with your health and fitness during the holidays. You guys have any questions about my trip or about any of the topics this week? Or you can drop any topic suggestions that you want to see for next week. Yeah, Jez said she saw the hot chocolates, and it's lovely to hear about the local dishes. Jez, have you been to the Netherlands before? Yeah, there was a lot of at the place my grandmother lives. They do like a dinner, like a catered dinner twice a week, and it's actually pretty good. They made some pretty good stews, a lot of really yummy potato dishes with lots of cheese. I think in the Netherlands, people would pretty much agree cheese makes everything better. So there's like cheese on everything, which is delicious. Southwest asked, do they still have the special cafes in Amsterdam? Yes, they do. They're called coffee shops, which is kind of confusing. If you come there and you're looking for like you want to drink coffee, you don't call that a coffee shop. You would call that a cafe. So if you want to get it, because they pretty much serve coffee everywhere at restaurants, at cafes. But if you ask for a coffee shop, they're gonna think you mean like I want to smoke pot at the place to do that. So yes, they still have those there. They got lots of mushroom shops. Still a thing, probably a little bit different than it used to be. I don't think it's quite the same vibe as it used to be, but in some ways I think it's improved, a little less seedy than it used to be. Yeah, it's a great place to visit. I feel like it's a really nice place to visit because everybody speaks English. They'll be able to tell you're not a native Dutch speaker from like a mile away. We'll just start speaking English to you, which can be quite frustrating if you do speak Dutch and have grown up speaking Dutch, but you just live in America, so you're a little bit out of practice, and they'll just immediately start speaking Dutch to you, and you're like, no, I want to practice my Dutch. Think of any other things I can share. I think one of my favorite things about the Netherlands is they, like if you go into any cafe or restaurant, no matter where it is, if it's like connected to a museum, if it's whatever it is, it's pretty much always pretty good. You can get a good coffee pretty much everywhere. If you just go into like a run-of-the-mill bakery, it would just be so much better than going into a run-of-the-mill bakery, at least in my experience in the US or in California. Same with like the airport food is better. It's not great, but it's better than what you would find at an airport in the US by far. Hi, Cupcake Betty. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't really worked out my arms and shoulders in a while besides my handstand push-up workout, but it's good to know they're still there. Any other questions about my travels, or if you have questions about the holiday giveaway, although your questions might be answered on Wednesday when I'm going to be sharing more about the sponsors, so you'll have a better idea of what to expect as far as the prizes go. What are you doing to work on your arms and shoulders, Betty? Other questions about fitness, kettlebells? Let me know in the comments. We've got kind of a quiet live today, but that's okay. You guys can ask me your specific questions. Nice. You're doing dumbbells, various routines. Did you just start strength training, or have you been strength training for a while? Okay, question, where can I get affordable dumbbells above 10 pounds? I think probably the best place to get like an affordable dumbbell is to get it used. So if you haven't looked on like Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp or something like that, that's probably your best bet as far as getting something that's less expensive. Probably anything that you get new is not going to be super affordable. Or if it is, it might not be very high quality. So that would be your best bet at getting like a decent quality at a lower price would be getting them used. And I feel like there's often people trying to get rid of dumbbells because they started a routine and then just want to, they stopped and they want to get rid of them. Yes, Jez is doing the endurance program this month on Kettlebell Solo. That's a tough one. How's that going, South to West? Says he's been trying to do push-ups in the correct manner since we streamed the push-up tutorial. If you haven't seen that, was a few weeks ago. Be sure to check that out. How are those push-ups going for you? You think you're getting it? Yeah, other than getting used dumbbells, I think honestly, my guess would be as good as yours, like just doing a Google search and comparing prices if you're not looking into used. Yeah, dumbbells can be a good way to build some strength in order to be able to better do push-ups. You can also work your incline push-ups, work your plank holds. That can help you with building strength for the full push-up. Oh, good, Southwest. I'm glad to know you're not trying to kill yourself by doing 100 in a set anymore. I think much better to do a more challenging push-up variation and do less of them. It'll still be hard, but less suffering, I think, than trying to do 100 in a set every time. Personally, I'd be dying. That would be very hard for me psychologically to maintain. Arnold press has helped you, but you learned an Arnold press may not be safe. Why is that? I think when it comes to strength training, there's always inherent risk in every exercise, and it also depends on your body and what feels right for your body, perhaps your injuries. I think any movement can be okay. It just depends on how it feels to you while you're doing it and after you're doing it, and of course, the proper progression with the proper load. So, too much wrist movement. Do you have issues with your wrists, or do they generally feel okay? I mean, of course, there's a lot of ways to go about strengthening your upper body. So there's no particular exercise that you have to do, and especially if it doesn't feel good for you, or if they feel loose. Yeah, that might be a call to perhaps strengthening your wrists. Of course, planks and push-ups can help with that, making sure that you're, again, progressing properly so it's not too much overload from where you're starting. So if you're welcome, thank you. If you've never done a push-up before, say you want to make sure that you build up solid strength in a plank position, you build up solid strength with an incline push-up or a push-up from your knees, and build your reps up slowly over time before trying to do the full push-up, because that can also be a little too taxing for the wrists if you're not used to it. Jez says she has jelly legs after static split squat thigh rainbows. That makes sense. Those will do that for you. I think if I did those right now after not doing them for 2.5 weeks, my legs would be dying. I have to work my way back into it. Any favorite exercises from the endurance program so far, Jez? Is that your favorite one, or is there a different one? Thanks, Betty. I appreciate the subscription. Hope to see you on Wednesday for our bodyweight workout, or on Thursday, where we'll be talking about staying on track for the holidays. Other questions on strength training, fitness, health, nutrition, or the Netherlands? If you have questions on the Netherlands, drop them in the comments. This is your chance. Jez says she likes thigh circles. Yes, thigh circles are good. You prefer them over the rainbows? Shin circles. That's different. Yeah, shin circles are their own unique blend of leg, back, and core strength and endurance, that's for sure. Let's see. I'm going to give you guys a little preview into what we'll be posting on Wednesday, since you guys are here joining me for our giveaway. Our sponsors, we've got let's see, we've got 11 different sponsors. So Kettlebell Solo, of course, is one of our sponsors. We also have Beyond Balance is going to be sponsoring. So if you see that lovely stall bar, that is by Beyond Balance. So Beyond Balance, the brand that sells those stall bars, is going to be participating in the challenge. Molnar Cattle, they sell grass-fed, local to Central Coast California ground beef. So they're going to be participating. That's the beef that I eat. It's really, really good. So be excited about that. We've got Oja's Plant Medicinals is another brand that's going to be participating. Small business, somebody I know that lives down in San Diego, makes really amazing different serums, different chocolates, really cool stuff. We've got Old Lady Gaines is going to be participating, so it's an apparel brand. I've shared a tank top that I have from that brand. They've got a lot of really unique designs. Then we have Occasional-ish, so it's a brand that sells like pins and jewelry, stuff like that. They have some really funny, cute ones, like a little pin that you can spin to like decide what to eat. So it's got a bunch of different little dial, and you can like spin it, and then it like, ooh, ramen, whatever. So that's a fun one. We've got Hugger Mugger, which is a yoga brand, is going to be donating some things. We've got Aloha Bar will be participating. So that's my favorite protein bar. It's a plant-based protein bar. We also have Pro Kettlebell is going to be participating. So this kettlebell back here, you see this like silver one, that is the Pro Kettlebell. They're going to be participating in the giveaway. And we have Celia Chocolatier. So that's really, really delicious, expensive, high quality chocolate. Definitely gonna wanna enter the giveaway for that one, really good. And then we've got Luna sandals. So that's the shoes that I wear, the sandals I wear like 95% of the time. You've probably seen me wearing them in different videos on social media. So they're really comfortable sandals. You can walk in, you can run in, you can do everything in. Hopefully you, if you live somewhere warm enough, you can wear them all year long like I do. And let's see if I'm missing anyone. No, I think those are all of our brands. So stay tuned for next week. Each day we'll be announcing what the giveaway is for that day. You'll be able to enter, and then the winner for that giveaway will be announced the following morning. So we have 12 days of awesome giveaways, and it should be pretty simple to enter. There'll be a few different ways you can get some extra entries, in addition to the fact that if you're a Kettlebell Solo member, for every one entry you submit, you will get 5. So if you enter, if you submit 3 entries, you will get 15 entries for that giveaway, and you do need to submit every day that you want to enter the giveaway. So if you enter on day 1, it won't roll over to the other days. You have to enter each day that you want to opt in. You don't necessarily have to opt into each day. You can just choose the prizes that you actually want. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Excited to see who wins these awesome prizes. I would love to win any of the prizes on this list. I'm super excited for you guys to see the prizes and get to win some awesome prizes. Thank you, Kayette. Thanks for joining. Hopefully you were here and you heard the recap of my travels, but if not, you can watch it back afterwards and see the recap. Any questions about the holiday giveaway? Is anybody going to be participating? Let me know in the comments if you're excited about any of those particular brands and you're excited to enter for them. Let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to recap one more time what we have going on this week. Wednesday, 9 a.m. I'm going to see you here for our bodyweight travel workout. Thursday, 4:30 p.m. I'm going to see you here for staying on track with your health and fitness during the holidays. Hi, Elena. Yes, I'm back. I'm back. Chase asked, I want to give my 63-year-old mom some very beginner lower body exercises to do. What would you recommend? I'm thinking walking, pelvic tilt, and tempo static movements. Chase, that sounds like a great place to start. I would definitely err on the side of making them easier and lower repetition than you think. I think the pelvic tilts are a great thing. I think walking is great. And I like your idea of like tempo and static movements. I think like isometric exercises are a good place to start. Always you can adjust the range of motion to suit somebody's needs. That's something that I would definitely take a look at as far as like if they're doing a plank hold, maybe doing a incline plank hold where the hands are up higher to make it a little bit easier to start, or like a wall plank hold, and adjusting the range of motion. Squats can sometimes be pretty difficult for people, so having a support to hold on to. So if you're showing any body weight squat type exercises, split squat, making sure that there's a support to hold on to, that's really stable and that can help them take some of their body weight off is also a great idea there. Also, if I was starting with somebody who is like something very beginner, I would have them just do some gentle joint mobility to check in with their body. So it's stuff we do in like the kettlebell solo warm-ups where say you like tuck your chin and go slowly side to side and then do, you know, maybe some shrugs or rolls with the shoulders, maybe arm circles, gentle rotations, circles for the hips, ankle circles, that kind of thing, because that can help somebody better tune into their body and maybe explore any limited areas, or maybe explore what areas need a little bit more time and attention. So that's something pretty gentle that can help somebody get better in tune with their body and prepare themselves to do strength training. Kayette, you asked for time zone. So these lives will be Pacific time. So on Wednesday, it'll be 9 a.m. Pacific time, and on Thursday, it'll be 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. You're welcome, Chase. Hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions on that. For example, our recover classes in Kettlebell Solo, that would be, you know, what I would recommend as far as the types of joint mobility exercises. You know, we do also have, I think Recover Class 1 is on our YouTube channel, so you can find that Recover Class there. I can find that for you real quick, and you could also send that over if she wants to see that. Let me find that real quick. Other questions? Let's see. Here we go. So this is a 25-minute recover class, which is a great full body joint mobility. If anybody else wants to do some full body joint mobility, enjoy. It's 25 minutes long. You could use that every day if you like. Any other questions before we close this live out today? All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and log off. I look forward to seeing you guys on 9 a.m. Pacific time, Wednesday, bodyweight travel workout. See you on Thursday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time for staying on track for the holidays. Thank you guys for joining me today, and I will see you soon.